Hi, my angels. So I'm sitting here in this hammock and I'm just drinking my coffee. And it is a gorgeous day outside. Plain. It's so good. And so I'm just sitting here kind of reflecting on these past few days that I've been home. I went to LA for a couple days and I was there for the full moon, the 9’ing portal, and the eclipse. And there was definitely a lot that was coming up, right? Like there was a lot that I experienced that I had to relive and release. These two birds just came up and they sat right here on this trampoline. There's three. It's giving community. 114, as I look down, it's giving community, right? But so there was a lot that I had to heal and move on from. Parts of my soul, like I resonate with saying soul fragments. Like there were pieces of my heart and soul that I called back while I was there. And I feel like I'm sharing this for a reason, because as I'm sitting here and I'm kind of, it's taken me a few days to really reflect on and integrate what I just experienced while I was there. And you know what's funny too is when we go back to certain areas that we spent our life, sometimes our brain thinks that we misses certain things from the past, right? Because it's familiar. So you know that term, how people always say, like, it's difficult for people to move forward because it's the unfamiliar. And so it's the same thing with the past. It's like a lot of the times it's super easy to miss something, or a person or a way of being or a thought process or a belief system. Sometimes it's really easy to reminisce or have nostalgia. However, 9 times out of 10, we don't resonate with that thing that we miss anymore. And so, your higher self grants you these opportunities, right? Some people call them tests. I don't like that. I don't like that term. I don't feel like that resonates for me. Your higher self is granting you these opportunities to move on to a new cycle. And in doing that, there is a lot of going back. And it's not necessarily to sit and stay there, but it's to move. It's to touch certain things, ways of being, thought processes, maybe being around certain people that you used to call in, situations, maybe work scenarios, whatever it is. We have to go back and touch that timeline to show ourselves that you don't resonate with it anymore, right? Plain. So that you can fully move on. So when I was in LA, that was what I was experiencing. I thought I missed LA, and this kind of facade, like joie de vivre thing that, my brain was kind of like sculpting LA to, out to be. And I get there and I don't resonate with the frequency of it anymore. I could feel a ton of ego. I could feel a ton of false matrix. All the billboards were so disgusting. How dark Hollywood blocking. How dark Hollywood has been, and like the underground. I don't know if people are ready for me to discuss that, but I know a lot of you guys out there know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there's cities underground, like there's cities below us that, anyways. Dog barking confirmation. And so there's a lot of you who are realizing that, who are kind of moving through that same thing of like, oh, I thought I missed something, but now I get to re-experience it. I'm getting granted an opportunity from my higher self to be able to go back without fear. And, you know, sometimes the ego mind a lot of the time is like, oh my God, am I going backwards? Oh my God, am I doing this? Am I making the right choice? Oh my God, am I going to get in trouble by Most High? Oh my, you know, that's how my like mind thinks. But it's the mind, right? Because in order to fully move forward, you have to have been able to sit with in order to move forward, you have to be able to sit with all of these different parts of yourself, with all of them. You're calling yourself back home to you, which is so important for you to officially move forward. It's because you are able to see, not somebody else telling you move on. This is you being able to officially go back to these people, places, things, situations, whatever it was, job things, you know, you're just going back to a situation, an old version of you. This is for you, not for anybody else. So that you can actually witness your own growth and see that you don't resonate with that version of yourself anymore. You don't resonate with that, you know, with that area, maybe with that, you know, whatever it is in your own right, you know, like whatever it is for your specific situation. But a lot of you guys are 710, 711. A lot of you guys are doing that right now. There's a lot of unblocking, right? Because it's like we're calling back these pieces of our true, you know, of our soul, of your heart, these fragments that have broken off due to trauma that you've experienced, right? But what it's done is it's built a fucking warrior out of you. There is absolutely nothing that you can't do. You can do anything because you are everything. This journey, your life has built a complete warrior out of you, and you see it. You truly see it. You feel different. You're glowing. You know, these past few days just on this planet, especially in the month of 9. 9 is 9’ing. Oh wait, as I say that. Plane. A lot of y'all might be traveling. A lot of you, you know, you might be like going to different places. Maybe even travel has a lot to do with your destiny, right? Your highest timeline in order to get there, it builds a warrior out of you so that you can handle it, right? So that you can handle it. Because when you have signed off on the life that you are meant to wake up, there are a lot of flies, and there's a lot of flies and there's a lot of yellow jackets. It's like you signed off on a very tumultuous life, right? In order for 9, 10, 9, 11, in order for it to break you, wake you up, crack you complete open, start facing yourself, taking accountability and responsibility for the life that we have created, healing our inner child, and not just our inner child, it's inner child, inner teenage, you know, early adult. There is a lot, you know, and on top of that, it's generational healing. I almost said generational wealth, so I feel like a lot of that for a lot of y'all, that's, oh yeah, I just heard en route plane. And I just heard be soft, be easy with yourself right now. Slow down. I'm hearing slow down. You are allowed to move at your own pace. 10-10 as I say that. It's funny because there's so many planes, but I'm hearing slow down. So you are being taught how to be the complete embodiment of sovereignty in the midst of chaos. Raven. Yeah. Shaman. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are being taught to be the pillar of light in the midst of storm. I'm literally seeing a huge lighthouse being literally it's giving the perfect storm. I'm seeing so much around it. It's just like chaos around it hitting this lighthouse, but this lighthouse does not move. It doesn't waver, doesn't deter from what it is meant to do. It doesn't overthink its destiny. It is what it is because it is. And that's what you are. It's really going from finite to infinite, right? Slowing down. Breathing, coming outside, remembering what truly is real in this world. And focusing on that. And you're helping so many more people than you can ever possibly know. A lot of us, we talk about, jobs and this and that and the third, and what are you doing on your, we talk about jobs and, money and all of this stuff. We're failing to remember that some of us, our job is us. You are the job. You. We all have our own, different destinies and, people, there are so many different, destinies that people have, unique paths that we have. And where I think some of us fail to remember is that you are the job. You. 1, 2, 3, 4, as I say that. You are the job. You have been training lifetimes for this moment. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm working. Even when I'm not recording, I'm working all day, every day. People may not actively see it, but when my cup is overflowing, right, when I can give from an overflowing cup, then you see my face, right? But Raven clicking. And I think that's also something very beautiful too, because I think what we need to remember is that Bubba says hi. Is that you are the thing that you've been waiting for. You are the opportunity in the job or the situation that you've been waiting to come in. You've been training for it. You are confirmation. You are your destiny. You. And so instead of it being this outside thing, however, it's like the closer internally that you get with yourself, the more internal balance that you come to, right? That internal union, the more I personally have realized, oh, I am the job. It was always me. And so then it's like when I can allow myself to be fine-tuned white butterfly. Oh my God. Look. So then when I can allow myself to be fine-tuned, I'm what's getting prepared, right? Because your soul expresses itself in so many different ways. A lot of y'all are, it's like you're, what's that saying, like a jack of all trades? Like you can do anything. You can do absolutely anything. You can act, you can sing, you can dance. You know, there's a lot here with like music and like, you know, just being a creative, you know, like paint. What am I seeing? I'm seeing like jujitsu in my mind, or like karate, you know, like martial arts. Ugh, love. I'm seeing Mulan. You know, there's just so much, you know, like in speaking. There's a lot about film industry here too that's kind of coming through. But the closer that you get to yourself, the more that you can realize what it is that you truly love, and what it is that your soul either represents or how it expresses itself, right? And there's a million different ways to do that. And so I think a lot of the times we get so overstimulated and hyper-focused on this one outlet and like pouring everything into this one outlet, but it's like, you are not just one thing. You are not just one thing. Your soul is, and you are this infinite being. You are not finite. You are this infinite being. I literally just got a vision. It's like there's so many timelines, right? Like so many different parallels, and they're all coming into this like one timeline, one parallel. And it's kind of giving me the energy of like you kind of calling back all of your soul fragments, like we talked about at the beginning of this, right? Like calling back all of your soul fragments, right? Coming into this like one vessel. But it's so big and it's so expansive because you are everything. And so the deeper in you go, the more you can release, right? The more, you know, I keep hearing the term joie de vivre, but it's like you can express yourself in so many different ways, because then you can start moving with recognition of like, oh, I am that career. I am that unconditional love. I am that sovereign being. I am my own destiny. You, not the thing outside of you. Raven. Clicking. I love ravens so much. Oh, my eyes twitching. Let me know if you guys resonate with this. This is really just like when I'm tapping into the collective, I can feel how many, it's just like you guys feel like you're doing so, you know, there's definitely some chaos. However, white butterfly again. The higher perspective is that it's like I'm able to see what that chaos is teaching you, what that chaos, like how you're able to move through it, because it feels like you guys are, bark, confirmation, it feels like you guys are able to kind of like, you're able to move through it with a little bit more ease than you have before. Like you can take a deep breath. Not all of y'all, because I'm kind of like chopping on my words as that's coming out. But you're getting the hang of it because you're learning how to trust yourself. It's like you're really building your confidence because you see that this lifetime has built a complete warrior out of you. Mulan, again. And that's amazing. That's amazing. That was the point. It wasn't for all of this external gain. It was for your internal stability. It was for your internal sovereignty. It was for your integration and embodiment, right? It was for you. I love y'all so much.